Good morning, everyone. Brian Hoops here with Midwest Market Solutions. This is Market Insider TV. Opening commentary, and it's Friday, April the 4th. Good morning, everyone. Hope your day is off to a good start. It's a tough start for a lot of the markets. As you can see on our screen, it's a lot of red here showing up. All these markets are lower this morning, except for the dollar, which has bounced just a little bit. We'll talk about the reasons why here in a second, but they're pretty straightforward. This is not chart based, it's not fundamental based, other than the tariffs. That's mostly what we're going to talk about this morning here, as we are hearing a little bit of fundamental news for the grains and the livestock markets that could impact things, but most of it's centered around this area here, the stock market being down sharply, and what China's reaction to President Trump's tariffs. So the dollar is a little bit firmer, natural gas is lower, crude oil down sharply, and pairing losses. Stock market and crude oil both off of their overnight lows, but 7% losses in the crude and stock market down about 2.5%. Gold and silver getting hammered this morning as well. And look at the grains. We're down about almost 4.5, 4.75 in the corn. Beans off 23 to 26 cents. Meal down a couple dollars. This bean oil is getting pounded as well. And then look at the wheats down 9 to 10 cents. So we're going to talk about the markets here and some of the reasons why, some of the news, some of the fundamental information. I think the best way to stay on top of it is go to our website, sign up for our text message service. I've been sending out texts this morning with some market information. Twitter feed is also a good way to get market information. We'll send out info there. But these markets are moving quickly, moving fast, and so you have to really stay on top of things. And right now, unfortunately, a lot of these markets are moving against the majority of Americans out there. Most Americans have money invested in the stock market, 401k, and it's certainly taking a bite out of that at this point in time. Okay, winter corn areas of Brazil expect to see below normal rainfall. Southern Delta is receiving heavy rains this weekend. It's going to be a lot of flooding in the Branson, Missouri area, down into Arkansas. Nebraska, southern Kansas, limited rains that leaves their wheat crops a little bit drier than desired. Monday afternoon, crop progress and conditions report will be released, first one of the year from the USDA, and they'll have wheat numbers, and that's what trade will be watching to see how those first ratings fare. Argentina corn harvest 17% done versus 13 last week, 15 last year, and 15 on average. We're right in normal pace there. Yields are coming in pretty decent, and some private firms have left their yield numbers unchanged for both corn and soybeans due to these high yields that they're seeing in the early stages of harvest. Probably the biggest news overnight, China is imposing a retaliatory tariff on all U.S. goods of 34%. That starts April the 10th, so that is next Thursday, and that moves deepens the trade war. But market signals disinflationary pressures, not inflationary pressures. Certainly, with the big drop in the stock market and concerns about the economy, I think your consumers are going to be a little bit more tight-fisted than what they have been in recent months, recent days, recent weeks. It's going to be a situation where they're going to probably sit on some cash until the markets at least stabilize, till the stock market stabilizes and has a recovery. People are going to be, I think, not willing to spend a lot of money on disposable discretionary items. March non-farm payrolls numbers came out this morning better than expected. 228,000 jobs added versus 140,000. Unemployment rate 4.2% versus estimates of 4.1%. And just to check to our neighbors to the north, Canada lost almost 33,000 jobs in March, and their unemployment rose to 6.7%. So things, may not be as rosy here as what we would like in the United States. They are much, much worse in Canada. Option expiration for April live cattle contracts for the options is today. First notice day for the futures is Monday, April the 7th. Right now, we don't anticipate there'll be any deliveries. Now, we do think we could see some heavy spread trade in the cattle today, more downside pressure, but most of it's going to be in the summer and the fall months based on that consumer spending that we're talking about. I wrote here on the screen when I wrote this up that no cash cattle trade yet this week with bids at 335 and 208. However, we have just heard some cash trade late yesterday, 335 to 340 and 212 to 213 in the Corn Belt. So compared to last week, um, that 212 to 213 in the if that's in the south, that's a couple dollars higher. That's about steady in the north, and 335 is what we saw in the north last week. So I'm going to say steady to better for most of this cash cattle trade that's breaking loose so far. Certainly more trade to come yet, but that should support April, and I think you'll see April gain against the other months on some spread activity today. I'm going to sign off, but wish you a good day of trade. Good luck with these markets as always. We'd love to talk marketing strategies with you and what we can do to help you out, get through and navigate some of these really difficult, really volatile times. This has been Brian Hoops from Midwest Market Solutions. Good luck, good trading, and we'll talk to you very soon.